Hi, it's me, Vicky Marie, and I've just thought I'd come on and talk a little bit about Rachel Morin. There hasn't been any real update in the sense of her murderer is still out there. He still hasn't been apprehended by the police. There's a couple of things I think that apparently the police are using genealogy, familial genealogy ways of, because they have his DNA. They have his DNA, but he's not on CODIS, so he's not been in. Although they've got the CCTV of what he did over in Los Angeles, have been coming away from there. He's never been arrested for anything because his DNA is not in the CODIS database. But something interesting that has happened is the family approached Pat Brown, who is a famous criminal profiler in the US. And by their request, she has made a profile, a criminal profile of this guy. And she's asking for it to be circulated as much as possible. Now, the police didn't solicit this, but she says on the video, you'll see that the police have authorised it to be circulated. So we need to circulate it far and wide. It doesn't matter what country you're in. You don't know who might see this video if you share it. So I would recommend it being shared everywhere. We're going to go through the profile now with Pat Brown. And yeah, she's asking for it to be circulated. It's in English and Spanish because, of course, the guy they do think is Hispanic. Now, whether that's because of the previous assault that he did and they just he looks Hispanic, but sometimes they can tell from the DNA, can't they, as well? So I don't know if it's definite that he is Hispanic or not. But anyway, let's have a look at the profile then. Okay, so she's asking for it to be distributed, so I'm sure she won't mind that I am using it because that's what she's asked for.
Hello, everyone. This is criminal profiler Pat Brown, and today I just want to bring you a short public service announcement for the family of Rachel Morin. Rachel Morin, this beautiful woman, was brutally murdered on the Morin Trail in Bel Air, Maryland. That's about 40 miles northeast of Baltimore, and she was murdered on August 5th. 2023 in the early evening. Exact time is unknown, somewhere between 6 p.m. and dusk. She went for a walk on this trail and she was assaulted and killed. So far, they have not been able to identify who the person is. However, there is video taken about 6 months ago in LA, video of this guy, and this guy's DNA was at the scene for Rachel Morin. So they know, the police know, the Harford County Police know this is who it is. Now, Harford County, that's the Harford County Sheriff's Department. They did not hire me to create the profile that I have behind me, but they have very generously allowed the family to distribute this, which means they're not opposed to this profile going out to the community, which I'm very pleased about because I really wanted the details in this profile to go to the public so they might be able to identify who killed Rachel Morin. And so the family had asked me to do this, and I produced, as a criminal profiler, the most important points that I think will help identify this man so that he can be caught and brought to justice. Now, let me show you the actual profile, and I'll read through it. And if you want to get this profile during this video, please do feel free to do a screenshot and then distribute it on your own channels, or distribute it in the community. This guy is a serial killer, in my opinion, and he's very dangerous, and he's out there. And I also I'll put in the description my email, which is profilerpatbrown@gmail.com. It's very simple, profilerpatbrown@gmail.com. If you contact me, I will send you over a link, a copy of the profile, so you can print it out or put it on your website or whatever. Let me read to you this particular profile and show why I believe this information is needed in the community. Because sometimes when a profile is put out or the police ask for information, these kind of details about what kind of person this is don't go out, and therefore people are confused about who they should be looking for. I'm trying to clear that up here so that people can be more focused and not just send in tips that have nothing to do with who this guy is. Let me read this to you. The man is a suspected serial killer and is an immediate danger to the community. The kind of crime this guy committed, he will commit again. He's very dangerous. You want to protect your community, you want to protect your family, your children, your wives, whomever. You want this guy off the streets. He is a violent criminal with these dangerous psychopathic traits. Narcissistic. He only cares about himself. Lacking empathy. Doesn't care how others feel. Manipulative. Takes advantage of others. And he is a pathological liar. He lies about everything compulsively. So understand that this guy cannot be a serial killer without being a psychopath. And a lot of times when you're looking at somebody in your community or in your family, maybe it's your cousin, whatever, and you're like, well, he's a little weird, but you don't understand that he actually has the traits of a psychopath. And I want you to know these 4 major ones so that you can say, my gosh, that guy has always been manipulative. He lies a lot. He does all these things. Yeah, he's that kind of guy. I want you to understand this. Let me go further. After committing a crime in Los Angeles, California, he came to Bel Air, Maryland. This choice of location to a small, lesser-known city is odd, meaning he must know someone in Bel Air where he has been able to stay. This is not like...
This to me is absolutely key. Why did he go to Maryland? You know, if he was running away from Los Angeles, we can see that, but why Maryland? He must have gone there for a reason. He's had to go there for work, or he knows someone. He's not just picked Maryland like a pin on the map, like, oh, where shall I go? I'll go to Maryland. He's gone there for a reason. He must know someone, or there's something to do with work in that area. There's something about this.
Like he came to the middle of Baltimore. He came to the middle of Washington, D.C. Bel Air is a smaller location. It's 40 minutes from Baltimore northeast. It's not, people live there. They have lives there. They have their community. But why is he there? He has to know somebody. It's not the place somebody just moves from one.
I think for a British person, it would be like going from somewhere like London or Manchester, but further away than Manchester, but some big city, and then going to St. Michael's or somewhere like that. Why would you even pick St. Michael's to go to? You know, you must have a reason.
Big city to another. He has to know somebody in Bel Air. Therefore, somebody in Bel Air knows this guy. He showed up in Bel Air. Maybe he's your family member, a relative of some sort, or maybe you didn't know of him before, but you hired him for some kind of job in the area. There are a number of interesting businesses that back up to this mom pa trail where she was walking, tree businesses. There's also I think a Catholic charities place that gives out, I don't know what they kind of things they give out to the community.
Something that I thought, because I know if they're saying that he's Hispanic, maybe it is because of the DNA, maybe they know definitely he's Hispanic. But what if he was Native American? Because of course we know there's the reservation there. It's a place for Native Americans there. Just something that crossed my mind, what another possibility, but it could be that from the DNA they know specifically that he's Hispanic. So, I don't know, just something that occurred to me, but I agree completely with Pat. He's gone there for a reason. He's not just gone there. So it wasn't an accident that he was there. I think maybe he even knew Rachel from social media or something. There's a reason why he went there.
There's restaurants in the area. There's all kinds of places in the area that could have hired this guy, not realizing who he is or what he's done. But he would have shown up in Bel Air at some point from Los Angeles, and he has to have a reason to be there. So in my opinion, he has to have probably friends or relatives in the area of Bel Air. The attack on Rachel Morin that occurred while she was running or walking on the Morin Pat Heritage Trail was likely committed by an opportunistic predator who saw her that evening. This means it is likely that the predator has a specific reason to be in the area of the path. He runs on it, he travels on it, he works near it, or he's living near it. In other words, there were some theories, and I posed them myself before we knew much more, that there could be like social media contacts, and I'm not taking this off the plate entirely, and I'm sure the police have to keep looking at this. Could somebody have found her through social media? Possibly. Could somebody have stalked her? Possibly. But from what I'm hearing from the police, they're leaning toward this as a random crime because of the location on the trail. And if it's a random crime, the guy has to be there for some reason. He's just, he's not following her. So why is he there? Is he there because he's working for a business that backs up to that location? Is he living with somebody and that house backs up to that location? Does he use that as a cut through? He's going from A to B and he cuts down that path and there is Rachel Morin. Does he run on there for exercise? Because this guy looks like he's in pretty good shape, but does he use it for exercise? And so does she. And they ran into each other. Why is he on the trail at that location? He has to have access to it. So that's very important because he's not like this complete stranger to the community. He's not driving through and happened to be on the trail. He had to have some reason to be on that trail or near that trail. Let's see. Finally, the suspect would not be accountable for either at work or at home sometime between 6 p.m. and dusk on Saturday, August 5th, 2023, when the attack occurred. This is important to know.
It's very interesting, that, isn't it? Because, if you, I just think if you lived with that guy, you would know who he was. Unless you might be someone who just never watches the news. I mean, some people don't. But, then you've got to think, well, where was he? Your son, your brother, your partner, your friend, whoever. Where was he on that day between those times? Because he would not be accountable for, because where he was murdering Rachel Morin. So that's, it's important. I mean, or he could have been at work if you thought he was at work, but he wasn't with you. What she's saying, I think it's very good. She's very good, saying at the end of the day, if you think that you're not sure if it's this person that then think about what was happening that evening, because he wouldn't have been with you.
Where was this guy? He wasn't at your house if you know him. He wasn't at work if you know him. If he's your friend, he wasn't hanging out with you. He wasn't at a bar at that time. He wasn't at a restaurant at that time. He was missing at that time. To all people who knew him, he was on the trail killing Rachel Morin. So taking a look back at the entire profile, if you know somebody who has dangerous psychopathic traits that I have put out here for you. If he came in from LA to Bel Air to stay with you, to work with you, to hang with you, for whatever reasons, he shows up in Bel Air and you know he came from some other place. If he was not, he had time to be on the trail that evening between 6 p.m. and dusk. He was not with you or anybody you knew. He was missing in action during those hours. And if he had some reason to be near the trail, walking on that location, living near that location, working near that location, cutting through, whatever, if you know that person, please call the number that is listed below, or you can send an email. But please get that information over, because this man is a highly dangerous human being, if you can call him a human being. And he's committed a horrific crime, and he's going to commit it again. Don't wait for him to do it twice. If that's not already happened, get him off the streets. and get justice for Rachel Morin. And that's just what I want to bring to you tonight. Again, also, you'll notice the family has.
Yeah, they've done the poster in Spanish as well, because supposedly he's Hispanic descent. So they have got the poster, the same poster, the profile that Pat has done. It's been done in Spanish as well.
Taken my profile, and they've done a really nice job of making it look good for distribution as a flyer. And also, they've made a Spanish copy so that, because they suspect the killer is of Hispanic descent. I say that just because I don't have absolute proof, but because they believe this is true, possibly because the victim in this other crime that happened back in LA was able to identify him as having a Hispanic background, or perhaps speaking Spanish. I do not know. But for that reason, the family has translated this, had somebody translate it into Spanish. So there is an English flyer and there is a Spanish flyer. So please take advantage of both of them. Let me put the Spanish flyer up on the screen. This is the Spanish flyer. So if you would like to take a screenshot of that and use it, please do. Again, this is the English flyer. Please take a screenshot and use it as you will. And if you'd like me to just send you over a copy, a PDF copy, I will do that as well. And just email me at profilerpatbrown@gmail.com, and I will send those over. Please get this distributed. It's not been that long since this crime happened, but we all know that as time goes on, it's harder and harder to identify.
It's been a month now. So it's been a month since she was murdered. And even with the DNA, they still haven't managed to catch this guy. Makes you wonder, doesn't it? Where is he hiding?
Kill the person who did the crime. And yes, there is DNA, and one can hope that the DNA will. He's not in the CODIS bank. Let's put it that way. They weren't able to link the DNA to a specific name. So far, he has not committed a crime in the United States that can put his DNA in the CODIS bank. So his DNA is they know what his DNA is, but they need to find the guy to match the DNA to. And we need the public's help to do that. And somebody knows the guy, because, as I say, Bel Air is not a big, huge place. And if that guy came to Bel Air and killed Rachel Morin, somebody knows who this guy is. You just may not recognize, that you should be reporting him to the police. And that's what happens a lot. It's like, well, I know he's weird. He's my cousin. He came to town, and I just can't believe he'd do these things. But was he missing at that time? Does he have psychopathic traits? Did he just come to Bel Air from someplace else? Does he look like this guy? And if that's true, don't be afraid of reporting him to the police, please, because if you don't, he may harm somebody else. So please keep that in mind. So public, the family of Rachel Morin really needs your help, and the community needs your help. So please do report, and please take advantage of the profiles and put them out there so that people can get this information and perhaps get some good tips to the police that would bring this case to close. Thank you for being here. I appreciate it. And I wish that this is, that the right tip comes in. Bye.
Oh, well, you may have noticed while I was watching that I actually subscribed. Very interesting, very good. Yeah, everything she says, she knows. I mean, she's been around a while, hasn't she? And she's been involved in a lot of cases. God, I hope that this profile helps. It's not only the criminal profile, but the things that she says, the advice that she's giving to people that may know this man. I should imagine it's quite difficult to phone up the police, and dob in really your brother, partner, friend, work colleague, whatever. It's difficult. But somebody knows something, because even if he has, if he's actually left the country, maybe gone to Mexico or whatever, or somebody still should recognize him from that. you know. Yeah, and I totally agree. It's a very strange fact that he's gone all the way from Los Angeles to Maryland, to Bel Air in Maryland, where she's saying, you know, it's not a place, unless, you know, it's a place you'd go to if you had a reason to go there. But it's not a big city, or was he hiding? Maybe he went there, but he has to have, I agree with her, he has to have, in my opinion too, some connection to there, a reason why he would go there, know somebody there. You know, and the thing is with social media now, you can have a connection. You know, it could have been Rachel that he had the connection with. You know, he could have met Rachel online from all the way in Los Angeles, or he could have met anyone online, and maybe this person, you know, has invited him before to come and stay, and then he's just said, oh, you know, and he said, oh, could I come and stay? Or maybe it's his family, or oh, you know, maybe it's work, like we talked, maybe he's a trucker, maybe he's in the army, or he's a Marine, or in the Navy. You know, there's endless possibilities, but it is a long way to travel in a short time, in a way, because I think it was March, wasn't it, the other attack? Oh yeah, no, it was quite a long time. So unless he's worked his way over there, maybe he's just drifting, you know. You'd think they'd have some CCTV there on that trail of him if he's been like regularly running on that trail, or using it as a cut through that she suggested might have happened, and then that evening just happened on Rachel. Then you think, because there is CCTV there, so in parts of it anyway, so you'd think there would be you know, some sign. I mean, there may be, because of course we don't know the full things that are going on in the police investigation. We know what they can tell us. They don't want to compromise their investigation. They just want to get hold of this guy, get him in prison, then they can start building the case properly. Okay, so I thought you might find that interesting. Please share it, especially if you do know anybody over that way. You know, I have viewers from America, Canada, you know, places, or people that are viewers that maybe they have friends or relatives. So share it, and you know, as she says, and if you want, she said, if you want a copy of I mean, I've screenshotted everything as usual, but if you want a copy of the profile, she said, you know, to email her and she'll send you a copy, etc. But yeah, very interesting. So let's hope it helps. You know, the thing is, it can't do any harm, can it? It's got to help a little bit. Just, you know, she's a famous criminal profiler, so it'll bring it to people's attention. That's just what you're trying to do all the time, is expand the attention. Because it's funny, because if you do take an interest in these kind of things, and you think that everybody should know, you know, but they don't. You know, I found that when I was in Manchester, you know, everybody knew more or less about Nicola Bulley, but they didn't know all the ins and outs. They just knew that a woman had gone missing while she was walking her dog. She'd been found drowned, and, you know, they didn't know all the ins and outs of everything. So the same here, people might have sort of vaguely seen it on the TV, but not really fastened into it, not really invested into it. Anyway, so I think this will be my third video today. So I'm going to schedule it for tonight as a premiere. So I will be there with you watching. So today's Wednesday, tomorrow's Thursday. I will see you tomorrow. I've got a plan for a video tomorrow, actually. And then Friday I'm doing the paranormal night. But anyway, in the meantime, every day just hope and pray that this guy will be caught, because every day that he's free, women are in danger, definitely in danger. So remember to always live and love carefully, wisely. Until I see you again, may your don't know why I was going to say may your sun go with you. I don't know why I was going to say that. That's a bit strange. May your God go with you. Maybe it's his mum who's going to dob him in. Adios.